Shalom. This is your brother Karath coming at you with this truth, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash. Next, I'd like to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. And, enough respect to the brothers that's teaching and preaching the truth all over the earth. And with this article, man, I just wanted to bring out, just the wickedness, the overall wickedness of the so-called white man, basically just letting you see his tactics, man, and what he does, man. This is what you would call, this is a engineered famine. The British, man, they engineered a famine. And it says Western historians who condemn the USSR for the deaths under Stalin's dictatorship, which Stalin was an Edomite as well. He was an Edomite as well. But it says the deaths under Stalin's dictatorship should shed a spotlight on the millions who died under British rule, including those in engineered famines across the Indian subcontinent. So let me just put this disclaimer out there, though. Well, let me just say to make the statement. I'm not, the Indian, the red dot Indians, I should say it like that. They're not, those aren't our people, man. The chosen people of Israel, those are the Negroes, the Latinos, and the Native American Indians. Those are the chosen people of God. Who the world ignorantly calls God, man. Not the not the Indians, over there in India. Not those South Asia, not the ones from South Asia, not those Indians from South Asia. But, I just figured I would touch on this anyway, just to show the wickedness of the so-called white man. But it says the UK general election is a week away, and a significant chunk of the country's media, 3/4 of which is reportedly owned by a few billionaires, is hard at work digging up dirt on Jeremy Corbyn to prevent a Labour Party victory at all costs. However, this uphill task is becoming harder as recent polls show the frequently cited conservative-led over Labour is rapidly decreasing. The possibility that Mr. Corbyn will be Britain's next prime minister, perhaps at the head of a minority government, is now grudgingly acknowledged. And I don't want to read this whole thing, but I want to jump down and see let's read right here. It says, when Corbyn launched Labour's manifesto at the end of November, he pledged to conduct a formal inquiry into the legacy of the British Empire to understand our contribution to the dynamics of violence and insecurity across regions previously under British colonial rule. You see, and that's what the white man does, man. He goes into other places, man, and he wreaks havoc. He causes all kinds of mayhem. And it says, previously under British colonial rule, and set up an organization to ensure historical injustice, colonialism, and the role of the British Empire is taught in the national curriculum. The idea of teaching a population about the unsavory aspects of its history, and in Britain's case, revealing how several of today's geopolitical crises are rooted in the past folly and avarice-fueled actions of its ruling class is commendable. And I want to jump down and get to the meat of this article, because it says, let's jump down right here. It says segments of the intelligentsia may also feel unease of Corbyn's manifesto promise, namely those academics who still view the British Empire as the UK's legacy and gift to the world. This includes those who, by extension, consider modern Britain and the West in general as bestowed with a cultural superiority that makes it the unchallenged arbiter of global affairs and undisputed defender of human rights and democracy, regardless of what these laudable terms have corrupted into justifying the invasion of Iraq, the destruction of Libya, and the civil wars in Syria and Ukraine are a few manifestations of Western intervention. It says some Western historians fall over themselves condemning the USSR for millions who died under the dictatorship of Stalin, with a significant portion of those victims perishing during famines. And, we can't forget that, Britain is the mother of America, man. America is a very wicked country, but it sprang out of Britain, man. Britain is wicked as hell as well. And Britain is an Edomite, country, man. It's just a wicked empire. It says victims perishing during famines. This is the people of the former Soviet Union need to come to terms with their history, just like any other country. In the meantime, Western historians should shine a spotlight closer to home. Engineered famines across the Indian subcontinent reportedly killed up to 29 million in the late 19th century and a further 3 million in 1943. And that's crazy, man. That number of people, just killing that number of people, man, that's highly wicked. Just slaughtering those people. Millions of people, man. It says the Indian subcontinent was only one of the regions under British rule, and the deaths mentioned above do not include those violently killed by occupying forces, unlike the USSR, which kept oppression confined within its borders and those of neighboring countries under its sphere of influence. Britain, together with the American Empire, to which it handed over the baton of imperialism after World War II, has interfered on pretty much every continent except has interfered on pretty much every continent except Antarctica. In modern times, we see the UK, now a vassal of the US-led NATO empire, condemn nations that refuse to submit to Western hegemony. Apologists for empire claim it brought progress such as railways, infrastructure, education, cricket, as well as free trade and order, i.e. Pax Britannica. Irrespective of whether such gifts were appreciated by occupied nations, this line of reasoning opens up a dangerous precedent. For example, supporters of Stalin overlooked his despotism by crediting him with rapidly industrializing an underdeveloped nation that later played a major role in defeating Nazism, bestowing upon him an honor that instead belongs to millions of rank and file soldiers, officers, and commanders of the Red Army. And it kind of finishes up by saying during the time of the British Empire, as was the case with other European empires and many dictatorships, the majority of working people were not personally enriched by the plunder of imperialism, and their descendants are not to blame for the actions of the former ruling class, which is completely wrong, man, because although you weren't personally enriched, you still were enriched socially, and you were enriched, institutionally. You're enriched in those ways. It says plunder and imperialism, their descendants are not to blame. Nevertheless, learning one's history is the first step to understand the present and ensuring today's. But yeah, man, it's they basically Britain, they basically they exploited the resources of this place, man. And they just had a major hand in just like starving out a large group of people, man. And in the script, and this article was talking about how Britain and the West, they in general, like the West in general, Britain and the West in general are bestowed with a cultural superiority that makes it, an unchallenged arbiter of global affairs, I think it says, and the defender of human rights. And it talks about how they invaded Iraq, they destroyed Libya, and they were the cause of the civil wars in Syria and Ukraine. And that was the result of their intervention, man. And how their engineered famines across the subcontinent, it killed 29 million or something like that in the late 19th century, and then they killed 3 million in 1943. You know, and this is wicked, man. That's the white man's wickedness, man. You know, but in this case, it's the mother of America. But you know, America, you know, they're even more wicked. But I just want to hit a few precepts, man. You know, they may say they're British, they may say they're American, and some may say they're Yugoslavian or something else, or Scandinavian or something else, man. Or they might say, oh, I'm from you know, those Nordic countries. Wow, what's the Nordic countries? Let me see. What are some of those Nordic countries? What are you talking about? Like Finland, Iceland, Greenland. You know, they'll say, "Oh, well, we're from here. We didn't have a role in that." But those are the same, different monikers, same damn devil. They're using different monikers, man, but they're the same damn devil, man. So the Bengal famine and how these devils killed all of these Southeast Asian Indians. You know, they're the same devils, man, all across the world doing it. You know, just like Stalin. You know, Stalin he's a devil too. He's a Edomite. You know, and all that mass killing, man. That's why the scripture always talks about how talks about how they'll be the border of wickedness, man. You know, that Bengal famine. They say that it was a British engineered famine. It was one of the worst genocides in human history, for profit too, and they did it for profit. You know, they did that to profit. Matter of fact, let me grab a script real quick, man. Let me grab a scripture. It's a lot. Let's see here. Let me grab Ecclesiasticus, because I want to bring out how they did it for profit, man. Let me grab Ecclesiasticus 10, and we're going to go to 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And, you know, that Bengal famine, man, you know, what they did there, man, that was you know, they did that for profit. So that was, like it says here, that was riches got by deceit, man. You know, that was riches got by deceit. Let me grab another scripture too. Matter of fact, I want to grab another one. You know, let me grab let's see here. Let me grab Revelation. You know, we can't forget, man, these regardless of borders that they put up here in the world, man, they put different borders, like these are British, these are Americans. Those borders are don't mean nothing, man. The Most High knows that it is a people. They are a group of people. Revelation 18 verse 5, it says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you. You know, and you know, it also talks about in the scriptures how those that did business with Babylon the Great, man, how they're gonna, you know, bewail her. They're gonna be sad, and I'm pretty sure Britain is gonna be one of them. They're gonna be sad, man, because they got rich off of America, man. So their sins collectively, man, have reached up into heaven. You know, because those people that they're all the same people. They're all one people, man. You know, and when Yahweh Shai comes back, he's gonna take all of the kingdoms down, man. Anyway, so not only America, he's gonna take all of them kingdoms down. Britain, all of them. All of those Edomite empires are going to be taken down once Yahweh Shai comes back. You know, so we don't care about how they try to bestow themselves as arbiters of the global affairs, man. They're going down, man, for their crimes against humanity in general, man. You know, and the Bengal famine and these engineered famines, it just shows that they are just as wicked as the scriptures say they are. These are the same devils, just different monikers. Let me grab Psalms 58. Psalms 58:3, it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. That's right, man. And they're estranged from the womb, man. They don't even know how to deal in righteousness, man. They're estranged from righteousness. They're wicked as heck, man. That's why they're estranged. Revelation 6:8, it says, this is Revelation 6. It says, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. See, they killing with hunger, man. And that's exactly what the so-called white man does, man. That's his MO. You see, this is an engineered famine. The mother of it's the mother of America. And it says that they will kill with hunger. That's engineered. That's to show you that it's the same devil, just a different moniker. They'll kill with, and they killed the countless people, man, with this engineered famine. In America, they got the same tactics. They can kill with famine. They know how to do it. They know how to do engineered famine. It's Obadiah 1:9, it says, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. And that's what's going to happen to you so-called white people, man. You're going to be cut off with slaughter, man, including all of you different ones. Now, however you try to name yourselves, whatever moniker you give yourselves, you're going to all be cut off with slaughter, like the scripture says. And there won't be any left of the house of Esau. And it says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. But, you're pillaging, and you're stealing, and you're taking things from people, unjustly. You're going to be cut off forever, man. The scripture calls you the border of wickedness, man. And this is why, because of articles like that, border of wickedness. And that's crazy. They're comparing what they did to what Stalin did. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. And that's what they are, man. So-called white man, no matter where you are in the world, man, you guys are the border of wickedness, and whom the Most High has indignation forever, man. He doesn't like you people, man. That's why the scripture says this, man, prepare slaughter. That's why the scripture says prepare slaughter. This is Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the face of the world with cities. And why would he want to prepare slaughter for the children? Because he knows that they're, according to scripture, you are your fathers, man. So he's the Most High wants to prepare slaughter for even for your children. He knows how wicked you are. You go estranged from the womb, and you do stuff like this, man. You kill millions of people. You engineer famines. You do unrighteous dealings. You lay on your bed and you plot evil and wickedness against people. And that's why you need to be cut off from the land of the living, man. And the scripture says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's right. It is, man. And it says in, let me grab this real quick. Habakkuk. It's Habakkuk 2:5. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that's exactly, Britain, they made India tributaries. They made them their tribute. They conquered them, and they made them their tributaries, man. They don't keep it at home, man. They invaded, they interfered Britain and America both have interfered in pretty much every continent on Earth except Antarctica. You know, they pretty much interfered in every continent on Earth, man. So that's why the scripture says right here in Habakkuk, he transgresses with wine. He's a proud man, and he doesn't stay at home. He doesn't keep it at home. He enlarges his desire as hell. You know? And that's what they do, man. You know, and then when they do it, they you know, the scripture talks about how you know, death and hell, they follow him. You know? Is that what I think I've already gone there, but yeah, man, that's what they were talking about, though, man. You know, but I just wanted to bring that out, man. The same devil, they're the same devils, man, just different monikers. You know, we could talk about America, but you know, America is extremely wicked, is an extremely wicked empire. But you know, they're all Confederate, man. You know, the NATO, you know, they're all Confederate anyway. So if you speak about one, you're speaking about all of them anyway. But yeah, man, I just I pray that this was edifying. You know, until next time, shalom.